Art should never, ever be ordinary, but always be accessible. That's why these people come back every year. They love the story. They think that the story was written about them. Hey guys, we're at Soundcheck, and I'm Pitrelli from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra here getting ready for the 2025 Winter Tour. The founder's name is Paul O'Neill. I met Paul cutting my teeth as a guitar player in New York City. He and I'd walk around pizza place, studio, club, just became buds. And he said, one day we're gonna work together. All right, fair enough. 1995, the phone rings, and it was him. He was working on this project. He goes, I need your help. I had a good understanding of creating soundtracks in a heavier fashion for rock and roll. Went into the studio, puts the faders up on the desk, and I looked at him like, really, dude, a Christmas song? And he kind of was laughed. He goes, well, it's not really a Christmas song. It's more of a soundtrack depicting events that took place on Christmas Eve during the war in Sarajevo. And I said, do yourself a favor, press record right now. I worked on the song, I don't know, a couple days, and, gave him a big hug. I said, dude, this is awesome. I said, I don't know if anybody's ever gonna hear it. And he goes, I just want to make great art. If it becomes commerce or it gets successful, bonus. But at least we did something special together. Overnight, #1 requested song in America. And he goes, I want to write an entire record around that one song. We're going to call it the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I'm like, okay. Why should this work? Pow, lightning strike.
The first studio record I did with the band contained the song Christmas Eve, Sarajevo, 1224.
Paul O'Neill was my first professional manager when I was age 17. TSO's been over half of my life. It's been, next year it'll be 30 years.
We were the guys that recorded the Christmas Eve Sarajevo 1224 song. And so that's kind of how I got here.
Paul had the idea of having a band that had limitless creative possibility. The opportunity came for him to open up TSO and include that song. That whole chemistry and idea and part of his genius worked together again and just, took it to a whole nother level.
That song literally changed the lives of all of us.
Musically, the band's been rehearsing for a while.
We're all so different, coming from different backgrounds, different styles of music. So it makes the band so much more interesting and dynamic and colorful.
For a lot of people in the audience, they're seeing it for the very first time, so we take a lot of pride in all of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Trans-Siberian Orchestra!
This year, the stage setup is so much different than it has been really ever since we started touring in 1999.
You got to get used to the stage, got to get used to the timing, the cadence, all those things get thrown in. It's not just remembering the words and the melodies, you got to remember all the other things that go with it, and that's what creates the show.
Over a quarter of a century later, that this show is still as relevant to people and a part of their lives and a part of our lives.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is an experience that you have to have at least once in your life.
This is like the secret ticket, that song. We do our first show, and I remember hitting the downbeat at Christmas Eve, Sarajevo, 1224, and I'm playing, and I'm looking in the audience, and right in front of me, this is like grandparents. Like those crocheted reindeer sweaters that they all wear. And next to them was a dude wearing a Slayer hoodie. Everybody in the audience reacts. We're feeding each other. It'll never get tired, it'll never get old.
I'm trying to think of the word that takes you stupendous, amazing, incredible. So whatever word is that.
Huge. Loud.